Now, Sam, I think you're quite a savvy accountant. You're on top of things. What's your plan for MTD? Let's have a bit of honesty. Where are we?
No pressure there, Chris, no pressure. So the plan for MTD, at first I had this stepping stone plan in place, which I do still have in place, but I realised quite quickly that that was very client focused. So the client focused plan, which I'll talk about first, consists of getting every sole trader client to run via a business bank account, stepping stone one. And that was a conversation I started probably about 12 months ago now with those clients, because none of us want to be sat there when MTD comes in flicking through Netflix and Just Eat subscriptions. That's a kind of a time waster for everybody. And let's face it, we can offer our clients a better service if they are isolating their business transactions. So that was number one, getting the business bank account. Stepping stone number two for the client will be all about the software choice, showcasing the software to the client, kind of proving to the client that the software is worth something to them. We have to try and sell this to clients as not as HMRC are making you do this now. Okay, that might be the fact of the matter, and if it wasn't for that, we might not be moving every sole trader we act for onto software. But we have to try and reverse that and get the client to see the advantage of the software that we can put in place. And I think most accountants will agree that the pandemic was a perfect example of where, you know, we had these small business owners ringing us up to ask about how much they could claim for this grant and that grant. And when we didn't have that live, up-to-date information from those small business owners, it was a lot harder for us to advise them. So we need to kind of point these things out to those clients and get them onto the software. Step number three is actually training them to use that software, but not only training them, giving them room for leeway. If we wait until the absolute final point to get all of these sole traders onto a piece of software and then just let them run with it, I think most of us have seen what happens before with clients when we give them software and let them run with it. We've all learned from the mistakes of MTD for that. And I think we definitely have to learn from that. So I think it is important that we don't just train clients or, you know, stand up in a room this size in front of a lot of your clients at once to save you time. Clients will love that. That's what I intend to do for mine. But we need to give them room for leeway. So the earlier we can get them on means they've got room to make mistakes. We've got time to make mistakes. And also we've got time to adapt the service that we're offering the clients. A client that says, I'm going to do it all myself, might change their mind 2 or 3 months down the line. But if we can get them to change their mind sooner rather than later, then it won't mess up our internal plans. So that's the client side of MTD. I then kind of took a step back and thought, well, this is all well and good, I'm educating clients, what about the staff? I'm up here talking about MTD quite often now with Sage, so I'm quite up on MTD and I'm quite confident and happy about that. But then I thought, well, that's useless, because if it's not me doing the majority of the actual legwork here, my staff need educating, and they need educating now, because again, lessons learned from MTD VAT. And when MTD VAT came in, I was working for a medium-sized practice who had left MTD way too late, and they brought me in as a consultant for a year and basically said, hands on the table, we have left this too late, this is an absolute shit show. And it was. They'd got nobody on software, you know, they had old desktop software in place. They weren't aware, they didn't have one central list of clients that showed the VAT schemes that they were on, anything like that. So I went in as a bit of a project manager there and sorted it out. But what I learned is that I would say at least 90% of the problems that that firm encountered could have been avoided if proper planning had been in place from this stage. This is our opportunity to do that for MTD.
Very much so.